look at how low Joe Biden is. My goodness gracious, you can't really get lower than 25%.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And they can't handle the truth. Who am I talking about? No, I'm not talking about Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson and everybody and a few good men. I'm talking about the ladies of The View. They will have another meltdown, and this is the last meltdown before Donald Trump's next presidency. And I know I always say I won't do it anymore, but it's like Michael Corleone in The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I have to do it. It's too good not to comment on. It's too good not to enjoy the meltdowns. And they will melt down. They will melt down about Donald Trump's inauguration. They will melt down about Joe Biden not being reelected and a lot of other things that we'll get into. But that was Harry Enton in the beginning from CNN, and he was going over poll numbers about how low Joe Biden is on his way out. And then we're going to get to how high Donald Trump is on his way in. So you ready? Let's go.
The guest list is set for Trump's inauguration on Monday. Can't wait. Not.
What are you, 5? Not.
Trump's favorite billionaires, are sure to be in attendance, but one VIP who's skipping the event.
Suddenly they hate billionaires, everybody.
Is former First Lady Michelle Obama.
All these multi-millionaires that are sitting on this stage right here, they hate billionaires now, just so you know.
Michelle's rep issued a statement.
I added that sound effect. Sorry.
Statement confirming that the former president will attend, but not the First Lady. Is she right or wrong?
Yes, Lord, she is so right. She is so right.
Angry, Sonny Hostin. Always angry. Your husband arrested yet? Or is he's still not arrested yet, Sonny Hostin? Yeah, that'll be funny that day. When that comes, we'll do a video on that for sure.
She gave us that when they go low, we must go high.
She changed that one.
And I think she's changed her tune. I think when they go low, you have to meet that energy and perhaps go even lower, become small like an ant and go to the Earth's crust.
They are. They're like 5-year-olds.
And what I will say is, what I will say is, she said that she did not enjoy Trump's 2017 inauguration because there was no diversity, there was no color on that stage. She said there was no reflection of the broader sense of what America looks like.
They never learn. All identity politics, they just will not learn. And I always say it. I think I say it in every video now. Keep not learning.
And many people took pictures of her, and she just wasn't in a good mood. But I want to show a clip of what she said at the DNC, which I really think hits home.
Yeah, it hit home so much that Kamala Harris got blown out.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us.
He did?
See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
It's all made up. Do these people have any real idea the history of Donald Trump? Go back and look at Donald Trump back in the 80s and 90s and in the black community. Just go look. Go look at a lot of the stuff he did, the people he hung out with, the rappers that wanted to be him, the shows he was invited on. They make this up it's made up whole cloth. It's all fake. It's all lies.
Yeah. And I think when you see that, you understand why she wouldn't go.
What bothers me is the capitulation that's going on everywhere. I mean, at this point, Michelle, Nancy, Kamala, and Karen Pence are standing up against Trump.
Wow. Wow. Really, it's really making a difference, too. I will give Joy Behar this. The woman is, I think, 83 years old. As much as I can't stand her, she looks decent for 83 years old. And she's definitely, she's out of her mind, but her thoughts and her sentences come out coherently, way more than Joe Biden's.
And are folding like cheap suits.
It's the women.
Yeah.
It's just
the
like
women.
Here we go.
I agree.
It's all identity politics. It's gender. It's race. It's sexual preference. Everything that they see everything through that prism, and it'll never change.
I say this is not a normal inauguration. No. This is not a normal person. Right. He's a convicted felon. Why do they go as if this is a normal inauguration?
And
it's
listen,
not.
Because the weakness it presents to the friggin' globe when you have presidents that say, just because of this, we're not going to... America voted. The normalizing of President Trump happened when the American public went out and voted. And picked him.
Let me say this. The Germans voted also.
I tell you this. I'm sorry. The Germans voted. This is on national television, everybody. As you know, ABC, free national television, and this goes out over the airwaves every single day.
I think Michelle Obama is living her best life, and I think she has learned to put herself first and put her mental health first.
Yep.
Mental health. I've said this. I don't remember what video it was. Everything is about your mental health. No, just because you don't like the president it shouldn't be affecting your mental health.
I think there's a lot of Americans who feel exactly the same way. Yes. Which is why news viewership and things like that have gone down dramatically.
No, that's gone down dramatically because you're liars.
Because people are checking out. I think
because you're
Michelle
liars.
Obama sat there, did her job when she was the outgoing First Lady. When she was the outgoing First Lady, she had the Trumps to the White House. She was nice. She played nice. She went to the inaugural. She sat through that insane speech about American carnage. All her pictures are like, what am I listening to? Yeah. So I think this time.
Yeah, because obviously I think Trump resonates more with the American public now than Michelle Obama's view. Don't you think so, Anna Navarro? You fake Republican. Stop calling yourself a Republican, please. It's insulting. Hey, guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe. I do one video a day at least. If I don't do one video, it's because of circumstances that were beyond my control and I couldn't get it done. But please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this channel. I appreciate it.
She's saying, boo, been there, done that. You're solo on this. I'm out. I'm going to do what's best for my mental health. And I think she's fine to do that, you know?
Her mental health. Michelle Obama's got it real rough, everybody. It's real rough when she's in Hawaii during Jimmy Carter's funeral. She's got it rough with that house in Martha's Vineyard that, didn't like the chef drown in like 2 feet of water. No, never got to the bottom of that. But anyway, I digress. Michelle Obama's got it real tough. Her mental health is under strain, everybody. And watching the inauguration just might put her over the edge.
Right. And by the way, and I think every American who wants to do that, if watching the inaugural is going to be bad for your mental health, go do something that's going to be good for your mental health.
Right, like go see a shrink.
But I just want to add to what you said, Joy. Yeah. It's not about taking your ball and going home. It's not about being childish. It's about normalizing a man who refuses to do the normal things that presidents do.
Give me some examples. I'm sure she's going to right now to back up her statement.
And he is going to continue to do that. And I think that it is perfectly appropriate, if he felt it was perfectly appropriate, to skip his successors, rightful successors' inauguration. Also, he thought it was appropriate to keep that successor from coming to the White House and receiving him from the White House.
I'm going to be consistent right now. I could care less if any president's former show up to Donald Trump's inauguration. I don't care. And I don't care if Donald Trump didn't invite Joe Biden into the White House and Donald Trump didn't go to Joe Biden's inauguration. I don't care. I don't care if nobody does that for the next Republican president. I don't care. I think it's a lot of pomp and circumstance for all these people to pat each other on the back and tell each other how great they are. I could do without it.
Why does he get to be congratulated? Why do the norms apply to him?
But the point remains that 75 million Americans voted for Trump. That is the normalization. Nancy Pelosi's attendance or lack of attendance is not what is going to normalize him. And I think the sooner that we wake up to the fact that the governing reality, the world we exist in next week, is Donald Trump as president, and Democrats still have powers. There's still things they can do in Congress. There are still things they can be engaged.
There's still plenty of things they could do to ruin everything. She's absolutely right.
Baloney.
But I guess take your time and go home.
Can I ask something? Has Nancy Pelosi said, I'm not going because I think he's a convicted felon and I don't want to be part of normalizing this oath? Or has she just said, I'm not going?
No, but she also didn't say it's because I'm too old.
We are assuming that she's not going for that. But why do we know that she's 84 years old with a broken hip and doesn't want to go sit and...
I put those pictures up. I made them. It's not real. Sorry.
15-degree
We're speaking about not attending in general. But also, she's old enough to be a leader in Congress. I think she's old enough to put on a coat and attend the inauguration if there's not a medical reason she can't.
If she's old enough to be able to be in Congress, she's old enough to go to an inauguration.
She didn't give a reason.
She didn't give a reason.
In other words, she's well enough. If she's old enough and she can handle that, she should be able to handle going to an inauguration, right?
It seems to me that over every step of the way, he's been let go. Merrick Garland postponed the thing.
Oh, yeah, they let him go. They let Donald Trump skate on everything that he never did. Delusional. The guy's been tried and investigated more than anybody in the history of the country, including Al Capone. And he's just, they let him skate. They didn't do anything. They just let him go.
Time you turn around, they didn't impeach him, and now we're going to inaugurate him.
He's been impeached twice, you moron.
This is where we've come because people had turned their eyes away
because
from
they've normalized him.
What he is really
he lost an
representing.
election.
A man
He won an election.
It is not a normal election. Stop treating like it is. It's not.
It is a normal election. It was a safe, fair, and legal election. The fact that
75 million people. I think there's like 300 million people in this
people
country.
chose not to vote. This is a fascinating stat. Hear this.
Yeah, there's 300 million, Joy. And he got the most votes last time as an incumbent. He got the most votes ever for a Republican. Again, he exceeded his numbers. And we're going to get into Joe Biden's numbers right here in a second.
18 million people who voted for Joe Biden in 2020 sat out this election.
They sat out? I can't say what I want to say on this platform. Put it in the comments. Did they sit out? You guys tell me.
There were reasons they didn't vote for Trump. There were reasons people said, I don't want either of these options. So it's not just that Donald Trump
I can't say it.
won. Also, Democrats lost. Kamala Harris lost. Joe Biden lost. Like, that's the reality.
More people voted for Joe Biden in 2020, and Donald Trump refused to go. So 82 million people.
Great. Which, whatever. Say whatever you want. That Joe Biden got more votes, 81 million votes. Okay, whatever. As I said, I don't care that Donald Trump didn't go to his inauguration. I don't care if Joe Biden doesn't go to Donald Trump's inauguration tomorrow. I could care less.
Peeled off and didn't vote for him again. And Joe Biden ran on Donald Trump as an existential threat to democracy. We will not recognize this country if he's back in office. Yet when people were going to him, people who care about him and are his lifelong friends, saying, we have the data, you are not going to win. You're going to put us on a very different trajectory if you don't step aside. I think Nancy Pelosi is a hero for being the one to step up and do it. It's always women, it seems like, who are like, sorry, reality check, this isn't working.
There you go. Alyssa Farah Griffin, another fake Republican. And how you sit on the show and just beclown yourself constantly and let Sonny Hostin walk all over you like a doormat, that's on you. But again, it's the women that step. They can't help themselves. It's a sickness.
And to be honest, if he had listened sooner and if his friends and close people around him had gotten to him sooner, then Kamala Harris would have had a way better shot at winning rather than in 90 days.
Do you think that?
No, see, that's where, again, Alyssa Farah Griffin, that's where you lost. The more Kamala Harris was seen, the more she got to speak, the worse she got. More than 90 days would have made it even worse for her. Donald Trump would have won 45 states.
Biden had run, in fact, that he would have beaten
No,
Trump.
I do not think that. And if you watched his exit speech, which was beautiful in content, there were moments where I had that same uneasy feeling as a person who...
Oh, it's a beautiful speech. Yes, his mumbling and stumbling and you know, just sucking his dentures. It was gorgeous. Great speech.
Actually loves him, and my politics align more with him. I voted for him, and I still watched and kept waiting for him to misspeak because he was jumbling his words. No, I
that's normal though.
don't think he would have
But
won.
his being there eliminates the misogyny and the racism that was part of this election.
But I think you're what?
Oh God, these people, they're sick. The misogyny and the racism. That's why Kamala Harris lost, everybody. And that's why I guess Barack Obama, the racism must have been why Barack Obama was elected twice and won the popular vote both times because of this racist country.
You're saying, Alyssa, is important because we talk all the time about Donald Trump and all the way he views being a president is for himself. The people around him, it's about Donald Trump. We always lose the main criticism of him is he lost sight of the fact that his vow was to a constitution.
By the way, Donald Trump doesn't take a salary as a president, number one. Donald Trump lost money when he was president, number two. Joe Biden and every other president has increased their family's fortune exponentially, number three. Every single president. Donald Trump's the only one that ever took that office that lost money and doesn't take a salary.
Mission first. It's the country first. And I think what
Who
Nancy...
lost sight of that?
Donald Trump.
He never saw that.
He never saw it. But it's...
He's always been loyal to himself.
But in the same way...
He never read the Constitution.
This is called Trump derangement syndrome on display in real time.
Let me mention
He
this.
doesn't know how to spell Constitution.
Senator Duckworth said here on the Soldier's Creed the other day, and this is what public servants do. They go Constitution and country first. I'm also talking about Nancy Pelosi and putting the fact that the mission in the country came first. That
was what Nancy Pelosi was thinking when she ripped up Donald Trump's State of the Union address. That address was honoring a lot of veterans, from what I remember too. Is that what she was thinking about when she ripped it up? That wasn't self-serving at all. No.
to be so hard for her to do, considering that friendship. But I also respect that if Dr. Biden feels all of those protective feelings of her husband, that's understandable.
She's as much of a doctor as I am a rocket scientist.
Can I say one final thing? With due respect to Joe Biden and his 40-plus years of service, I think it's disrespect 50 that he keeps talking about how he would have won. Because what he's effectively saying is Kamala lost, but I would have won. I think it's disrespectful to somebody who stepped up and ran a very good campaign in a short amount of time.
It's not disrespectful to Kamala. It's about what I just said.
But why?
It would have eliminated those misogynist, sexist pigs out there. And those racist people who would never vote for a black woman.
Remember, she just said that because I can't wait till a conservative black woman becomes president of the United States. And that'll happen before any Democrat woman becomes president of the United States. Remember that. I hope Joy Behar is still alive when it happens.
That Biden could have won. No, I saw that debate. He could not have won after June 27th.
As President Biden prepares to exit the White House, President-elect Trump is making his way to Washington to take the oath of office amid a brutal cold spell due to hit the nation's capital on Monday. While Biden's approval ratings exiting office are frosty, Trump appears to be enjoying a bit of a honeymoon period. Joining us now to run the numbers on this, CNN senior data reporter Harry Inton. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
This is a pretty typical pattern, but these numbers for Biden seem especially low.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's typical pattern, but these are especially low. Those two things don't go together. This is not typical.
Yeah, they're historically, though. They're, I dare say, historically awful. What am I talking about here? Well, job approval at the end of the first term. I'm just looking amongst those who lost or didn't run for re-election. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to see which is the lowest number on your screen right now. And an average of polls, my average, Joe Biden's at 38%. He's actually lower than Donald Trump was at the end of his first term. Remember, at the end of his first term, everyone was saying Donald Trump's political career is over.
Right. At the end of Donald Trump's first term, first of all, the media coverage was relentless during COVID, negative against Trump the whole time. Then you had January 6th, relentless bad media coverage. Joe Biden is lower than him, and I'd say Joe Biden's real number is probably about 20%. And if the media was honest, Joe Biden's number would probably be about 7%. Okay, so this is, this is outrageously bad.
Joe Biden's approval ratings even lower than Trump's was by just a point. He's lower than Jimmy Carter, who was at 44% by the end of his presidency. Not even close to George H.W. Bush, who was at 56%.
George H.W. Bush would have won his re-election bid in 1992 if it wasn't for Ross Perot. That's a fact.
So a nice rebound. But the bottom line is this. Joe Biden came in to end the Donald Trump reign in this country, right? End Donald Trump's political career. And all that's ended up happening is Joe Biden has managed to end up at a lower approval rating at the end of his first term than any president on record, Jessica.
Ouch.
Okay.
And how are people reflecting on his entire presidency at this moment?
Yeah, so if you think this approval rating number is bad, take a look at this particular number. All right, a good or great president at the end of their terms. Well, Barack Obama, 52% of Americans thought he was a good or great.
How's that possible in this racist country that Barack Obama had such a high rating after he left after 2 terms that I would say weren't that great? But still, 52% of this racist country thought that it was he's going to be a good or a great president, remembered throughout history.
Great president at the end of his presidency, 2017. Donald Trump, very much behind Barack Obama at 36%. But look at how low Joe Biden is. My goodness gracious, you can't really get lower than 25%.
Sure you can, and it should be in the single digits.
And our polarized error, because the bottom line is there's going to be a bunch of Democrats who would say that Biden was a good or great president no matter what he did. But yet it's only a quarter of the country who believes that Joe Biden was a good or great president. It is the lowest number since AP&x started tracking this back at the end of Barack Obama's second term. Bottom line is Joe Biden goes out a very unpopular man at the end of a 50-plus year political career.
Failed president.
It's so interesting, and there's so many questions too about like, are we so more divided now than we were back in 2017? Is it Joe Biden?
He just said we're very polarized, and it is Joe Biden, because even though we're polarized, where we have half the country pretty much that would just say any Democrat, I'll vote for him. Any Republican, I'll vote for him. That's how split it is, right? And still this guy gets 25%. 25%. So even people that are polarized to the other side, to the left, are saying Joe Biden was awful.
There's a lot there to chew on.
Yeah.
I do want you to talk us through Trump's popularity at this point.
Yeah, so if Joe Biden's numbers are at his lowest point, right, Donald Trump's are right near his top point. We have a little thing up here. I'm so tall, I was managed to actually bump it. Look at this. Trump's record favorable rating. You know, you go back 4 years ago, he was at 38%. Look at where he is today, 47%. That is the highest favorable rating Donald Trump has ever registered in an average of polls. So what we're dealing with is something very interesting, whereby, as I was saying, Joe Biden's at his worst point. Donald Trump is actually at his best point, being with this such a high favorable rating. One other little last thing I will point out, because I want to get to the forecast a little bit, is just take a look at this. Will Trump be a good president? In January of 2017, you saw 48% for Donald Trump. Look at where we are today. A majority expect that Donald Trump will be a good president. So expectations for him are quite high. We'll see if he's able to meet those expectations, Jessica.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, and those numbers for Trump, remember, that is with bad media coverage, mostly negative, even now. That's not with good, glowing media coverage. It's not. It's always slanted with something to take something away from Trump. Always. Even when they're trying to say something good, they squeeze something in where it's bad. Every time. Every time. And those numbers are with that kind of media coverage. Joe Biden's numbers were with the whole Democrat machine behind him in the media. And that's still that bad. Joe Biden is not even close. The worst president of my lifetime. Not even close. I was born in 1973. Not even close. You? What about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Your lifetime? It's beyond. It's beyond. Nothing's good. You got people like Sonny Hostin and everybody on The View. Oh, everything's fine. The economy's this. It's great. Yeah, for you. The Democrats have completely lost their way when it comes to appealing to the working class and their base, that it used to be their base, the blue-collar base. Gone. Gone. And now this whole thing with TikTok. If Donald Trump saves TikTok, there are people flipping out that TikTok has been shut down. And if you go on it, it is shut down right now. And I see the people that are on there who make their living on there. I understand. I get it. A lot of people have turned that application into a way to put food on their table. And if Donald Trump can work out a deal to save TikTok and bring it back and in relatively short order, that is just going to increase his appeal to a base that the Democrats got throttled in this last election that they weren't expecting. And it's just going to get worse for them. And the more they keep talking about identity politics and misogyny and racism and everybody's transphobic and this phobic and that phobic, the more they keep doing it, the worse they're going to be, which is better for us. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I really appreciate you watching. I'm sure we'll do more in The View as Donald Trump's presidency takes off. It's too good not to watch and comment on. I'm sorry. If you like it, I'm happy. If you don't, let me know in the comments and I'll take it under advisement. All right. We'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.